I hope you're having a great day and I hope you had a great weekend. Today I want to talk about a subject that's a little bit different from nutrition and inflammation and cancer and blood pressure and everything else. I want to talk about a topic that we need to now start to learn to be aware of. We are aware that there is AI, we are aware that there's technology, there are beautiful gadgets that can count your steps and tell you about your sleep and everything else, and that's all good. I'm not here to put that down. I'm here to say that we need to now be cautious about something new. You know, we're made up of trillions of cells. We're not made up of computer chips within our body or wires and stuff like that. We should never forget that. While we can consciously use technology, we can consciously use AI, and we can very consciously use health devices, what we need to understand is within this brain, within this intelligent brain, we have neurons. We have neurons that grow when you use them. They get stronger when we use them. So when we're looking at dementia, we're looking at Parkinson's, we're looking at Alzheimer's, which a lot of these inflammatory cognitive diseases involve dead neurons or dying neurons or weak neurons. What keeps our neurons strong? When we use them. When we use them, it's like a muscle. I use a muscle and it grows. I use a muscle and it maintains. I stop using the muscle and you know what happens. The point is, it's the same thing with your legs, your hands, everything has to be used. Now what happens is when I start to become very dependent on technology, to start making decisions for me, to start telling me how I feel, to start telling me which foods I should eat or not according to my CGMS monitor. All of these things are great feedback points, but we still need to use our intuition. We still need to use our mind, our brain. We need to think. We need to start doing all of these things. Like there are a lot of people who are so dependent on their Oura ring or their sleep device to tell them how they slept at night. Now I value the data, but then there's also our intuition. Do you really need a device to tell you how you slept at night? You already have a biofeedback mechanism within you. You wake up in the morning, you ask yourself, do I feel rested? Do I feel good enough to start the day? Or do I need more and more sleep? That clearly tells you the quality of your sleep. Nothing else really matters. Our non-REMs 1, 2, 3 are REMs. It's a good to know, but what do you do with that information? You see, a lot of us get excited with data, and data is exciting when we can take that data and do something about it. You'll see a lot of people, doing these videos talking about CGMS monitors and oats, CGMS monitors and chocolate, CGMS monitors and different foods. And we forget to think, we think blindly that that's the same way those foods behave in our body. But it isn't true. Absolutely not. What would be better is you put the CGMS monitor on and you see your blood spikes according to the foods you eat, not on someone else's body. That person's body is different from yours. Their muscle mass, their fat percentage, their blood glucose, it's all different. But you see, what's happening is we're trying to be put into a box by technology. Technology is trying to make decisions for us. Now, of course, it can make decisions where required, but if it's slowly trying to replace human intelligence, if it's trying to replace your intuition, your spirit, your gut instinct, you can already predict what's going to happen in a couple of years. You see, why are they encouraged to play Sudoku, puzzles, all of that, to keep those neurons fired? If you want to have sound cognitive health and sound brain health as you age, it is today how you're using your brain. You could be numbing yourself with pornography. You could be numbing yourself with back-to-back OTT entertainment and Netflix and all of that stuff. Or you could even be numbing your intelligence and your neural activity by constantly waiting for things to make a decision for you. Today you have a device that tells you if you're happy or sad. It's common sense. It's common sense. You can look within you right now and know whether you're happy and sad. So you see, the point is we're getting addicted to more and more information, but nothing to do with it. You stand on the scale tells you your body weight, you go to check your fat percentage, now you get certain data. Now what do you do with that data? What do? Do you start to change the way you eat, you exercise, you sleep? That's great. These are valuable data points. But you see, you need to see this because all of us think that everyone developing all of these apps and these gadgets, do you really think, my honest question to you, do you really think they care about you? No, you're a product. You're a consumer. You really think they care about your health? But the point is, guess what? As we start to get in the most non-derogatory manner or most with utmost respect, we're becoming dumber and dumber. Because we're not thinking, we're not using our neural pathways. What makes us intelligent as human beings? The ability to think, the ability to reason, the ability to take information and make decisions about it. But if someone's doing it for us all the time, like an app or a technology or a device, the point is what's happening? We're not allowing those neurons, those are infinite. A computer chip has finite capacity. It could be very, very, very large, but your neurons are infinite. And we have to allow human intelligence to grow within us. So if you look around right now, you're controlled by the media, you're controlled by news. They control your thinking. They don't give you space to use logic. You're induced with fear, to see this, perceptions, all of that stuff. But when you stand and decide to move out of the box that society's created, all you see is people trying to make us less and less human. Now that's a huge problem for you, and that's a huge problem for the generations below. And why is it that the top people don't want people to think? Because what if you have a lot of smart people who can see through the crap of society, that can see through the crap of medicine, nutrition, all of these quick fixes and stuff like that? You need to understand you need a smart brain for that. So how am I using my brain every day? I usually wear an Apple Watch. I love it. It just gives me a clue of my steps because I see patients sitting throughout the day. And then I say, oh, I got just 3,000. Great. I take that data and use it. But I'm not dependent on any other gadget to tell me how I feel, what I should eat, how I should live, and stuff like that, because I have my own biofeedback. So if I'm dependent on advices, what am I killing within me? My natural biofeedback. I'm suppressing it more and more. And there is no intelligence like the one within you that always knows when you're hungry and tells you when to eat, tells you when to stop to eat. Your own body will tell you how many calories you need based on your energy expenditure. No nutritionist can ever tell that. You're put into a box and you said, height, weight, these are the calories you need to eat. It's more or less accurate, but it can change every day. It can change every hour according to your stress levels, according to your exercise that you do. So what we need to start doing is, technology is great. Use it to maximize where required. But the moment you find technology and all of this stuff is making us dumber and dumber, like, you have AI and stuff like that, where soon you won't need to even calculate numbers in your mind. What do you think that's doing? Number crunching is such a beautiful exercise for your neurons. But today kids are growing up without the need to even learn those things. It's great. Everyone thinks, wow, we're advanced. We should move with times. But be careful of what technology you're consuming. If it's making you dumber, you have a big problem because you're suppressing your only intelligence that tells you all the time. It's scientifically called biofeedback. If you listen to your biofeedback right now, it's telling you how you're feeling. It's telling you whether you slept enough. It's telling you whether you overate. It's telling you if you're starving yourself. It's telling you whether a particular food suits you or doesn't suit you. It's telling you whether a particular workout is working for you or working against you. It teaches you about people. You pick up energies of people. Instead of trusting their words, you trust the way you feel, energies. But all these instincts are being dampened by all this excess tech. Like I said, tech is great. I use technology. I use AI as well. But for things that don't dampen human intelligence. And you really, really need to know, because that's how they'll control you more and more. After a while, people will be like, hey, they'll chat and say, oh, should I date this person? Oh, I'm feeling unhappy today. What should I do? Now, you may have AI that will throw you beautiful things that can make you feel good, but it's not based on human intelligence, inner intelligence. And that's what I'm trying to tell people today. Understand where we are. The amount of stress people are carrying in the world today is because they're still living within the box. The moment they decide to step out of that box and look at all the problems differently, they understand. They understand that I'm part of the rat race. I'm driven by greed. I'm driven by ego. And we don't like to hear these things, but that's the truth. Your own spirit is telling you enough, but you're pushing on because you're comparing your lives with people. You're trying to keep up with all of this. So you see, our lives become more busy, and then there's a business selling you instant gratification or a business selling you some convenience. And you think, oh, wow, this is going to allow me to work more and more. What are you doing? You're burning out. You're burning all your somatosensory receptors in the body. Now you can't feel human emotion. You can't feel compassion. And that's what's happening around us. So it's just something for us to think about. Look at your life. What am I using all these things for? All these gadgets are sold with so much of fancy trends and fads. And I ask people, I'm not against you using a gadget. What are you doing with the data? Tell me. Most people, oh, I'll start doing this, I'll start doing that. How do you know the data is accurate? So the whole point is we cannot allow technology to dampen human intelligence. It can be supportive of that intelligence. I can take AI and put like 500 PET scans of my clients over the last 1 year into a system and start to look at data and look at commonalities. But I cannot use that information to make a decision based on those scans and AI. The whole idea is don't get brainwashed. Don't get brainwashed by the system. Look at people today with the advancement in technology and medicine and nutrition, yet the most Googled word is how to burn body fat. Because the basics haven't been followed. The basics are keep your insulin levels low, okay? Don't do fat diets. Sleep and emotional wellness is more important than your diet. Put these things together. But people still want that diet because it's in their subconscious mind. Someone somewhere told them a diet will solve your weight problems because that's how it was marketed. So it's so important for us to understand, to reevaluate. I have technology in my life right now. Am I using it to maximize my productivity, my learning, or am I dampening human intelligence with it? Everything is so easy that we're not thinking anymore. And if I'm not thinking, I have a huge problem with my neurons. And you may be 20 today, 30, 40, 50, 60. If you have that problem now, what's your cognitive health going to be when you're 50, 60, 70, and 80? And that's why nothing can replace spending time in nature. Be in the tech world, but all the more spend time in nature. Be in the tech world, use tech, but are you thinking? Are you using your brain to solve problems, puzzles, creativity, doing all of these things? Or are you using AI to create all of your tweets, your Instagram posts, your blogs, your logos, and all of that stuff? Like I said, it's helpful, but it's not allowing you. It's dampening your creative powers. You get more creative when you use creativity. And that's the whole point of it. This is the world we're living in. We don't have to be alarmed. We don't have to be fearful. We just got to take personal responsibility to understand this. And now, what action am I going to take for myself first? And then the people around me. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care. It's all about you.